Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. I don't think it's gonna be a very long vlog today. I have this wisdom tooth. I'm not sure how wise I was not having that taken a long time ago. But I did not. And this lower wisdom tooth is just he's yeah, not happy. It's it's rough. Having said that, I was informed by one of my supporters, a very seriously a supporter, that talking about medical things, bodily things, is not something that I should be doing. And in retrospect, yeah, there are a lot of people who get kind of queasy about stuff like that. And if you watched my last video or the video before that, I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, I got a little involved with the medical situation, and I guess it freaked a few people out. I don't know. Anyway, what a day, crazy day. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but the Alex Jones channel or InfoWars, whatever, has been completely just taken out. And yeah, you know, I got to be honest with you. I'm not shocked about that. I'm not a huge, never have been a huge fan of him. I love Paul Joseph Watson. There's a couple of other people who are affiliated with him that are amazing. Never really been big with Alex, but the thing of it is that what I've watched happen, what I have seen happen, what I've witnessed. Got this pain thing going on. It's screwing my head up. What I witnessed today was a sign of things to come, and it ain't good. It is not good. I think that because the conservative movement has become so powerful, well, I don't know about powerful, but successful, and you've seen things happen that I'm just completely shocked. The whole walk away thing. How many people of color have just woke up from a nightmare, really, and they've looked around and they're like, oh no, the Democrat Party can kiss my butt. And you know, people like Candace Owens. Is it Candace Owens or Candace Owen? Either way, I hope you know who I'm talking about. She's an amazing woman. There's tons and tons of people of color who they've had it. You know, they've had it. They have literally marched right the hell off of the plantation, and they are not coming back. Anyway, I guess my point to bringing that up is that I think that there's been kind of a knee-jerk freak-out reaction of the left. Look, the midterm elections are coming up. That's extremely important for the Democrats. They really do need to take the House back. I think they're pulling all stops. When you look at what happened with InfoWars, when you look at what happened with Alex Jones, and what literally within 12 hours, you had some of the biggest players, Apple, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, all of them just shit cannon Alex. Boom, you're gone. You know, and they used, of course, their standard excuses. Hate speech, which, you know, anything that doesn't toe the Democratic line or doesn't toe liberalism 101 is hate speech in their minds. Yeah, I could talk. You know, I really want to discuss this particular thing much more in depth when I'm not in pain. So I think it's important, and you know, I've touched on this almost every video, I think, that we literally have to protect our First Amendment. There is a war going on, and they're waging it, and unless you're willing to accept that as the reality, we're screwed. It's very important for us to be successful in the midterms, and doubly important for us to actually get, you know, to be honest with you, Donald Trump reelected. You know, I know there are a lot of never Trumpers, but this is not a time to be a never Trumper. All hands on deck, literally, all hands on deck. I look at the left really as kind of like a rabid animal that's been backed into a corner. I mean, literally. And they can't for the life of them understand why there's so many people who are still so deep in support for Donald Trump. And they're all starting to lose their minds. And I think that, you know, they're pulling all the stops. I mean, they're pulling, listen, it's no holds barred. They're demonetizing everybody under the guise of you know, hate speech. They're starting to ban people. They're erasing people. Alex Jones is being erased. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, we'll retouch on this particular topic very soon. But for now, I do want to get to a few things. I've never done this. Well, I shouldn't say I've never done this. I've made a lot of videos in my day. And rarely do I ever comment on comments. And I always kind of dug that whole concept. I just have never done it. At least not in recent memory. So I am going to comment on some of the comments that people have posted on my in my comment section. Barnett Zach says red, white, and true. Love it. Yeah, it is a cool name. Red, white, and true. It is a cool name. The website's coming along great. I just don't want to give a solid date, but you will know when we're ready to launch this thing. You will know all about it. Trust me. And it's not going to be forever from now. If I had to just take kind of a stab at it, week and a half. I mean, I want it to be right. I don't want to come out and have it just, I just don't want to face plant. I just, Anyway, thanks for the comment, and thanks for the words of support for the Red, White, and True .tv. Mobile Tech, Mobile Tech and I go way back, way back. Probably since the beginning. I don't remember not knowing Mobile Tech. He's a really interesting guy. Did live out in California last time I talked to him, but who knows? I guess, yeah, he's just still in California. Anyway, this is what he said. He goes, I'm retired now and speak with my vote. That's really all we have. Interesting note, just found out that there are more registered voters in California than there are people. Imagine that. Eligible to vote, and we are not talking Republicans here. Yeah. Listen, I think we all know that what Jerry Brown has done as governor of California is treasonous. Literally lining illegals, people who shouldn't be in this country and damn sure should not be voting for anything in this country. He's facilitating their ability to commit fraud. You want to talk about interfering with an election? This is what California does. When Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, if you remove all the people in California that should not have been voting, yeah, she didn't win the popular vote. I promise you that. That's the one thing, when you hear lefties talk about getting rid of the Electoral College, it's because they figured it out. The states that are the most left that are willing to go above and beyond in committing election fraud, they only have so many electoral votes. It's just, Anyway, Mobile Tech, always a pleasure. The thing about you speaking with your vote, it's very, very, very important, yes, for you to get out and vote. That's hugely, hugely important. We have to get to the polls. We have to get the vote out. We absolutely have to. We have to pretend that we're Democrats in that regard because they've always been very good at that. Hell, they get dead people out to vote. I'm not advocating that we do that, but I am saying that unlike any other time in the history of this country, it's extremely important for us to get out and vote. So yeah, thank you, Mobitech, for that. I personally want to take it, for me at least, up another level and encourage others to get out and vote and actually speak up and try to fight back with some of this nonsense that's going on. Okay, Stephen Hayes, or as I like to refer to him as Colonel Stephen Hayes, he says, I deleted an entire blog, 5 years work on WordPress, which was conservative, Christian, questioning of the sexual revolution, particularly the Crusade Inquisition to ram the LGBTQ agenda down our throats, and anti-mass immigration, Islamization, and Darwinism. By the way, if you didn't know, the colonel's pretty smart. I'm not talking about this girl. I'm talking about this girl. He's a medical doctor. He's a very smart guy. But he says, partly because my wife was worried about it, but mainly as some of the content could have got me fired from my government job for hate speech. He's retired now, but he was a doctor for the National Health Service, NHS. This under a so-called conservative government, which is in fact liberal. Labor is now hard Marxist, no actual threats, but it's what's called a chilling effect on free speech. The thing about Colonel Hayes that I've always been impressed with was that he has always been willing to speak truth to power. And Whereas we in the United States, a lot of times we take that for granted. The fact is that they don't have a First Amendment in Great Britain. They do not. And I remember there were a few times that he was concerned because he could have been not only lose his job, but they could have arrested him and put him in jail for the things that he was saying. Which, by the way, any real patriot would have said those things. I give him a lot of credit for that, and you know, Stephen Hayes is an amazing man. Always has been. I've nothing but respect for him. He's yeah, I mean, he's just an amazing guy. But yeah, he really did stick his neck out, and I can totally understand why his wife. By the way, say hi to Julia. She's a wonderful woman. I can completely understand why she would be concerned. I mean, he had a family to take care of, and although a passionate man, and by the way, an amazing blues guitar player too. I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, you don't want to lose your livelihood and the ability to support your family. But it's hard because he's seen a lot of things happening that we've all seen happen in Western Europe, all of Western Europe. And God, I don't know. I would have probably already been in jail had I been out there. I would have been right there with Tommy Robinson, to be honest with you. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for the comment, Stephen. Amazing friend of mine, goes way back. And all right, Archer's friend, another amazing friend of mine that goes way back. He says, welcome back. The fight continues, and maybe when a special counsel gets appointed to investigate CommuniTube, Twitter, Facebook, and all the social media, socialist-loving, conservative-hating groups, you know, I'll be honest with you. So I'm amazed at how many socialists are out there. I'm amazed that the Democrat Party, which used to be a decent... Look, when I was growing up, I lived in a very blue-collar part of Toledo, Ohio. All of my friends' families, fathers, worked for Hydromatic. They make transmissions for General Motors, or the Jeep plant. And a lot of them were Democrats. But these were not the Democrats of today. These, it makes me think of John F. Kennedy, who, if John F. Kennedy was around today, he would be considered a radical right-wing nut. He was always, anti-tax and pro-military. The Democrat Party has been hijacked. It's been hijacked for years now, but it's got to the point now where it's damn near communist. I mean, you wait and see how many of these socialists, all right, just call them what they are, the communists, are going to start becoming power brokers in that Democrat Party. It's going to be amazing, and I think that hopefully the American people see it for what it is and they crush it. But it's scary times. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, Archer's friend, always a good guy, always a good guy. Scott Herman says, glad to see you back in the Saddle Ridge. Hope your tests come back good. Bring back the preacher bench. I may bring back the preacher bench for a couple of episodes. If you don't know what he's talking about and you haven't been around from the very beginning. Anyway, thanks for the comment. Tony Morano, Admiral Tony Morano, amazing guy. Seen a lot of the world with this guy. Tony and I went to Asia and then flew on over to Europe. My only connection with Russia is as flying from Narita, Japan to Denmark, and we flew over Russia. And I remember at the time, because the back of the headrest, the seat in front of you on the airplane, they showed like the track of where you were going, and then I can remember there was a moment where I was flying over Russia, and I thought to myself, wow. Anyway, says Colonel, nice t-shirt. I was wearing his Texas Daddy t-shirt in whatever episode he's talking about. I only have one video on my channel, Tony Morano with that stray cat. He loves that cat. I don't let him fool you on this. I don't know what would happen to him if that cat disappeared one day. Thank you, sir, for the shout out instead of the shout at. Yeah, he's a really amazing guy. It's funny. I'm not sure how many best-selling books he has in Japan now, but there's at least 10. I will never, ever forget. We were sitting, me and him were sitting on a bench right outside of our hotel room in a place called Taiji, Japan. And these Japanese kids, they're probably teenagers or maybe early 20s. It was nighttime. I want to say it was a weekend. Beautiful evening. People were out and about. And this group of kids walked by. and they see him sitting on the bench. Okay, now Tony Morano, Admiral Morano, started this whole YouTube thing in his, I think, in his bedroom or his kitchen or something. I think it was his bedroom. We're in a foreign country, thousands of miles away from the United States, and these Japanese kids look over and they start screaming Texas Daddy, and they start jumping up and down, and they were so excited. And that was probably my first real indication that, so, he's got a number one book, this, that, and the other, but that was my first real indication that, holy shit, this guy's famous. Yeah, good memories, definitely good memories. Love to go back to Japan. A wonderful country, absolutely a wonderful country. I wouldn't mind going back to the Faroe Islands either, to be honest with you. I met some really great people there. Yins, if you're watching, you're one of those great people. Okay, let's see here. Keep us updated on your health, and yes, I shared Pusnit, P-S-O-N-I-T, Pisnit. Anyway, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. The health is doing better, no doubt about it, except for this damn tooth. John Kalafel, who is building my website for me, and he just says spot on. Dude Zillis, here's to your good health. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Big old boy one, good stuff, Colonel. And then, of course, Salty Shellback, Colonel Salty Shellback. I think the libs are imploding, but they still refuse to see the truth, and former libs are seeing the light and are quietly leaving the nut party. It's kind of funny because I think you're right. I think the libs are imploding. I think that the party is imploding. Unfortunately, what you're seeing rising from the ashes is dangerous. And they still have the media machine on their side. Understand this, the communists, and I mean that when I say that. I'm not being flippant when I say communists. The communists on the Democrat side, the left side of this political spectrum that we have, they've infiltrated the media, and they infiltrated the media years ago. You talk about, even when I was a kid, I can remember Walter Cronkite every evening. Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it is. Commie, absolute commie. One of the people who literally made it impossible for us to win the war in Vietnam. The media types, and they got really power hungry and drunk with their own success. And to be honest with you, that's a whole nother video that I will definitely talk about, because the media in this country, it's communist. That's just the way it is, communist. All right, now I do have another, some more comments on another video. Harmer, I can never pronounce this. Harmarish 2, Harmar, Harmar, SCH2. Anyway, he says glad things health-wise are good. And then he says, Colonel, I have had all kinds of shit going on with me health-wise. Yeah, he's not been well for a long time. Get off the Prilosec and ask your doctor to put you on Tectra, T-E-C-T-A. You saw a gastroenterologist since 2012. I've had two put in the same practice. Oh, I've had two, but in the same practice. I apparently I can't read anymore. I had life-saving surgery 3 years ago. Let me expand this. I still have an ulcer in my stomach that I get biopsies done every year. Yeah, the Prilosec thing, I don't think it's working for me. So yeah, definitely when I see my doctor this pretty soon, I'm going to ask. I should have asked the gastroenterologist about the Prilosec, but I was just so focused on the cancer thing. It consumed me. It really did. Anyway, yeah, so definitely talk to him. And then Archer's friend says, I'm sending you an email. Please read it. This stuff is not to be joked about at all. I'm guessing he's probably talking about Prilosec too. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to read that because I was switching internet. Well, it's a long story. But I will definitely, depending on which email, if you can, send it to me on Facebook. All right. Big John, glad everything is okay, Colonel. Getting old sucks. I'm 43 on the 3rd, and man, I'm falling apart. Dude, I feel you. I really do. When I hit 40s, when everything started really going to shit. And that's not me being flippant. That's just the truth. Anyway, and when you said you were going to die any day now, I had to find a new doctor when she accused me of eating bonbons in McDonald's every day. Yeah, some doctors are just, they're just not good. If you have a doctor that's just not good, you definitely need to find a new one. I mean, use your gut on that because some of them are just assholes. Um, Hawker Mustang. My dad has had them same problems with acid affecting his throat. He has had to have his esophagus stretched and opened up at least 3 times. He would get where he was choking on food and couldn't swallow. Good luck. Yeah, my dad had throat cancer, and yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it was it's a genetic thing. Maybe his cancer was caused by the acid, which can happen. I don't know. Salty Shellback. My mom had pancreatic cancer about 20 years ago, and she is still alive. So miracles do happen. We will be praying for you for sure. Well, I do not have cancer, thank God. So your prayers were answered. God bless your mom, because pancreatic cancer is like the one of the worst to get, and usually you don't make it that long. Steve Jobs had all the money in the world. He still died of pancreatic cancer. So God bless your mom. I pray for her to live another 50 years. Anyway, Andirahc, Adinirahc. Part of the problem is I'm dyslexic. If you don't know that, you do know now. You do know that. You know that now. Good to hear. Are you okay, man? Good to hear you are okay, man. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do for that. And I kind of enjoyed that. I need to get a little better at it, obviously. But yeah, you guys are, the fact that you're supporting me is amazing. You know, I do, at some point I want to talk about me being shadow banned, because that'll be my next video, I think, because to be honest with you, I have been shadow banned by YouTube and Facebook. Or no, not Facebook, but YouTube and Twitter for sure, shadow banned. I'll explain how I came to that conclusion in the next video. And then you guys can tell me if you think I am spot on or not. I believe I am. Hopefully the creation of the website will solve a lot of my issues. But yeah, I mean, it's dark times. It's dark times that we live in, and we have to fight. We have to fight. No ifs, ands, or buts. If we don't now fight, we will all be just disappear, just like Alex Jones, and they will take over. They will take over. Don't think for a second that they're not capable of turning this around and taking over. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. The media's in the bag, so hell, if they did rig the election, I don't think they'd have to worry about being outed by our media, with the exception of maybe Fox, but that's one outlet. You know, Rush Limbaugh, that's one outlet. I mean, we have very little on our side other than the internet, and that's why it's important for us to stand our ground. That's why it's important for us to fight. You know, we need to keep this platform that we have that gives us the ability to speak truth to power, to speak truth to the media, to be able to call Jake Tapper a con man, you know. Anyway, listen, everybody, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you sharing my videos, because clearly they ain't getting out any other way. And I will definitely keep you up to date on the whole website thing. I think you're going to enjoy it. It'll be a work in progress, but I really do want this to be a place where everybody feels welcome and can come and even have your own say. Submit your videos to me. I'll host them. Submit your podcasts. I'll host them. Submit any writings you have. I will host them. So, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Everybody take care. Peace!